So let's talk about Luxembourg. You hear about these incredible high salaries and get this, free public transport for the entire country. But is it really the European paradise it sounds like? Or is there a pretty steep price to pay for that dream? Let's break it all down. And this right here gets straight to the heart of the matter. On one hand, you've got this massive average salary, over 73,000 euros a year. But then on the other hand, you're looking at real estate prices that are right up there with London or Paris. This is the central puzzle we're going to solve today. So that's the big question, isn't it? Is packing up and moving to the Grand Duchy a golden opportunity, a total game changer for your career? Or is it kind of a financial trap hiding in plain sight? By the end of this, you should have a much better idea. Okay, let's start with the number one reason people flock to Luxembourg in the first place, the work and the money. And this is where the story gets really, really compelling. Just take a look at that number, 73,700 euros. That is the average gross annual salary in Luxembourg for a regular 40-hour work week. I mean, that's a figure that just makes you stop and pay attention, and it puts Luxembourg in a league of its own. Now, to really put that into perspective, look at this. When you compare it to a neighbor like France, that is a 28,000 euro difference every single year. We're talking about a gap that's big enough to buy a whole new car annually. It is a huge difference in what you can earn. And check this out. This is one of Luxembourg's secret weapons for financial security. It's called salary indexation. It's a law that says whenever inflation goes up, all salaries, and I mean all of them, even the minimum wage, have to go up too. It means your money is legally protected from losing its value, which is an absolutely massive perk in today's world. And on top of those high protected salaries, the job market itself is just incredibly strong. The unemployment rate is only 4.7%. That's about half of what you see in a lot of other Western European countries. And with giants like Amazon and Microsoft always hiring, the opportunities are just everywhere. Okay, so the money is obviously a huge, huge draw. But what's it actually like to live there? Well, this is where Luxembourg starts adding even more reasons to its list of why it's so appealing. The quality of life is just amazing. It's one of the safest countries on the entire planet. The public healthcare system is fantastic. It covers up to 88% of your medical bills. And, as I mentioned, all public transport, buses, trams, trains, is completely 100% free for everyone. Plus, you're surrounded by beautiful nature, there's a surprisingly fun social scene, and the rest of Europe is right there on your doorstep. And you wouldn't be alone. Nearly half the population is made up of expats, representing something like 170 different nationalities. This creates this incredible international multicultural feeling, which honestly can make it so much easier to settle in and find your community. Okay, so far it sounds pretty incredible, right? But every paradise has its price. So it's time to pivot and take a hard look at the very real challenges and costs of living in Luxembourg. And you're probably asking yourself, all right, what's the catch? Because with salaries that high and benefits that good, there has to be a catch. And in Luxembourg, yeah, it's a big one. The number one challenge, hands down, is the cost of housing. You've got this tiny country with massive demand from a growing workforce, and that means prices are on par with central Paris or London, but it's like that across the entire country. So, to put a real number on it, the average rent for a pretty standard apartment for two people is going to be around 2,000 euros a month. And really, that's just the starting point. If you're a family and you need more space, you can expect to pay upwards of 3,000 euros a month. Easily. And that puts a huge amount of pressure on your budget, even with one of those great salaries. Now, remember this amazing perk? The entire country's public transport system is 100% free. It sounds like the perfect way to get around, right? Well, here's the paradox. While the trains and trams are free, the roads are completely clogged. See, almost half the workforce commutes in from neighboring countries every day, so a simple 30-kilometer drive during rush hour can easily take an hour. It's a major, major daily frustration. And the high costs don't stop with rent. Just day-to-day life is about 17% more expensive than in France. A simple dinner for two, that'll easily set you back over 100 euros. Even your groceries are way more expensive, which is why a lot of residents just cross the border to do their weekly shopping. And finally, there's a social challenge that a lot of expats talk about. it can be kind of difficult to bridge the gap between the international community and native Luxembourgers. A lot of expats work in the private sector, while many locals work in the public sector, and it can make daily life feel a little separate, making it hard to form those really deep connections outside of work. So after weighing the incredible opportunities against the pretty significant challenges, where does that leave us? Let's look at the final balance sheet. And here's how it all breaks down. The promise is so clear: exceptional salaries, a fantastic quality of life, and a really vibrant international community. But the price you pay is just as real: astronomical housing costs, brutal daily traffic, and you might face some hurdles with social integration. So ultimately, it really comes down to what matters to you. Is the financial gain worth the high cost of living? Does that safe, clean environment make up for the traffic and the social divides? Only you can weigh these things for your own life. The decision, as always, is yours.